A calm mind is the greatest power. Today, we're going to talk about an easy yet effective method to stop overthinking, helping you achieve a calmer mind. By the end of this video, your life will certainly change. What you'll learn in this clip includes 1. Techniques for managing excessive thinking. 2. How to practice mindfulness and be present. 3. Stories that help you understand how to control your mind better. 4. Philosophical insights for seeing the world differently. 5. Simple practices you can apply immediately in your daily life. Let's start with a surprising fact. In 1 hour, we spend about 58 minutes thinking about the past or future, and only around 2 minutes being fully present. Just 2 minutes truly mindful. If you struggle with maintaining focus or have too many thoughts disrupting your sleep, this video will surely benefit you. There are many ways to achieve calmness, such as taking supplements, meditation, journaling, or deep breathing. These methods genuinely help. However, without understanding what I'll explain next, these solutions won't last long. They might relieve you temporarily, but the overthinking will return. First, you must understand that overusing your mind isn't healthy. Overthinking has been a human problem since we appeared on this earth. The famous writer Mark Twain once said, "I'm an old man now and have known many troubles, but most of them never happened." Overthinking is the art of creating problems that don't exist. Your mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. The issue is, you may currently be controlled by your own mind. There's an old tale about a king who had a beautiful yet fierce horse. No one could tame it. The king declared anyone who could tame the horse would receive great treasures. Many tried but failed. Even the strongest were thrown and injured. Eventually the king saw his horse obediently following a stranger's commands. Amazed, he asked the stranger how he succeeded when everyone else had failed. The trainer replied, "Instead of fighting your horse, I let it run freely until it exhausted itself. Once tired, it became easy to befriend and control." Our minds are like that horse. If we fight against them, we'll never control them. We must use the clever horse trainer's approach. Allow the mind freedom to exhaust itself naturally. Give it freedom without suppressing it. Simply observe and get familiar with it. Trying to force the mind into silence is like trying to flatten ocean waves with force. You'll only create more waves. What you resist persists. So the secret isn't stopping the waves but accepting them, as waves are the ocean's nature, and thoughts are the mind's nature. You cannot stop thoughts with more thinking. Instead, shift your focus back to the present, and your mind will calm naturally, as you're no longer fueling it with your attention or creating new waves. The present moment is the answer. There's an old story about Buddha. One day, a reporter asked him, "Are you a god?" Buddha said, "No." "Then are you a saint?" Buddha said, "No." Confused, the reporter asked, "Then what are you?" Buddha replied, "I am awareness." Most people live in a world of constant doing and problem solving. There's a saying, just becoming aware of who you truly are resolves everything naturally. But how do we practice this awareness? It's not about doing something, it's about being something. First, you must recognize who you truly are, not just think about who you are. The thought of a tree isn't the tree itself, just a thought. Thoughts of God aren't God, just thoughts about God. Similarly, thoughts about yourself aren't really you, only thoughts about you. Your true self exists before thoughts. Most people mistakenly believe they are the voice in their heads. But if you're the voice, who's listening? Consider carefully. Anything you can observe cannot be you. I repeat, anything you can observe cannot be you. Thus, to control your mind, observe it from the point of pure awareness. Here's the critical part. Observe both good and bad thoughts, especially good thoughts, because they're very seductive and can deceive you. What begins as sweet nectar can become poison. Watch both carefully because neither is truly you, only thoughts. Your true self is the pure observer existing before thoughts. Since you observe thoughts appearing and disappearing, you must exist before thoughts. An Indian philosopher shared a story of a traveler who flew to India 3 times, and climbed mountains to meet him. After waiting several weeks, he finally asked the philosopher, "Can you tell me who I am?" The philosopher replied, "Go back where you came from." Everyone nearby was shocked. The man traveled far just to meet him, yet was told simply to return home. The philosopher's real message was, return to the state before thoughts, before you constructed an identity, before your stories. Return to your original state. I love this story because when you truly return, you'll realize you aren't your thoughts. Again, what you can observe cannot be you. Your brain isn't creating thoughts, it merely receives them. Let me prove this to you. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and comment below about what your next thought will be. Pause the video now and try it. You'll discover predicting your next thought is impossible because you don't create it. It simply comes to you. There's a humorous saying, the problem is, you think you have thoughts. Actually, thoughts happen by themselves, just like passing gas. They come and go naturally. We instinctively know this. That's why when trying to remember something forgotten, forcing it doesn't help. Later, the memory randomly appears. Your brain isn't generating thoughts. It merely receives them, and thoughts aren't you. Now, how can we use this knowledge practically to stop overthinking? The simplest way is observing your thoughts without attempting to stop them. When observing, you'll see thoughts aren't you. Next time you're anxious, tell yourself, interesting, I'm having anxious thoughts, instantly creating distance between you and the thoughts. Remember, you aren't those thoughts. You're their observer. Another effective method is naming your thoughts. If you worry about money, say, "Oh, here's that money thought again." This technique helps you see thoughts as mere thoughts, not reality, not you. Observation is key. When observing, we separate ourselves from thoughts. When thoughts arise, notice them and let them go. Don't cling to them. Imagine your mind throwing balls, commanding you to fetch them. If you're mindful, you'll realize you're neither its toy nor pet. You won't chase the balls. You'll sit still. Eventually, your mind tires from lack of attention. Another helpful practice is mindfulness, being present. When you're present, there's no time for overthinking. Next time you walk, observe each step. Feel your feet touching the ground. Notice your body's movements. Or when eating, fully taste every bite. Notice smells, colors, and textures. Being present means less overthinking. Eckhart Tolle, author of The Power of Now, beautifully said, "All suffering arises from resisting what is." Accepting the present moment eliminates unnecessary thinking. Everything unfolds as it should, and you're part of that flow. You aren't separate from life. You are life, happening in every moment. You might wonder, if I stop thinking, how can I work effectively? You can still think, but you won't be dominated by thought. Like driving, you don't constantly think, now I brake, now I turn left, yet your body drives automatically. Life is similar. When you stop overthinking, you work even better, free from unnecessary distractions. There's a story about a samurai who asked a Zen master, "Master, do heaven and hell exist?" The master looked at him and said, "You're a pathetic warrior, weak, thin, your sword rusty." Angry, the samurai drew his sword and shouted, "Watch your words or I'll kill you." The master calmly replied, "That is hell." Shocked, the samurai instantly understood. His anger was hell. He sheathed his sword and bowed respectfully. The Zen master smiled, and that is heaven. Heaven and hell aren't distant, they're within your mind. When thoughts control you, that's hell. When you control thoughts, that's heaven. Ask yourself when you overthink, am I creating heaven or hell? Lastly, practice gratitude. Each morning, think of at least 3 things you're grateful for, like nice weather, delicious food, or someone smiling at you. Gratitude shifts your focus toward life's positives, reducing overthinking. Consider each day a precious gift. Not everyone receives this gift. If you view each day this way, would you still have time for worry? Finally, Remember, stopping overthinking isn't achieved overnight. It's a journey. Some days are good, others challenging, and that's fine. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Every moment you catch yourself overthinking is a wonderful opportunity to practice presence, just like the samurai. Buddha said, "All we are arises from our thoughts. With our thoughts, we create the world." To change your life, start by changing your thoughts. The best way is to stop overthinking. I hope you found this helpful. Which part resonated with you? Comment below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. May you remain present and experience good things in your life. Take care.